I have in front of me a CCTV tester. Basically, the purpose of this meter is to allow us to set up CCTV cameras and be able to test them and correctly align them directly on site. Okay, so it has a big advantage on a model that it's replacing, that it now can support AHD or analog high definition. So it just gives a wider range of cameras it can support, and everything is moving towards analog high definition. So from that perspective, it's a good advancement and why we've changed over to this new model. There's also a network tester on it which we can use for testing LAN cables, and I'll demonstrate that later in the video. So the format here is I'll just show exactly what comes with the box. We'll have a good detail on the meter itself, and we'll actually do some setup then as well, just to say that this is available with free delivery, and it's part of a much wider range of CCTV equipment we have on freetv.ie. So it comes in this outer box here. We have a strap here which you can use to put this on the back of the unit, and it'll actually just allow us to hold it on our arm, something like that, or hold it in our hand quite securely. We have the charger here, which is using a micro USB. We have this here, which we can use for actually connecting on and using a microphone and testing it directly onto this as well. We have this here, it's a termination block for testing the actual LAN capabilities on it, if we're testing a cable that way. And then the final thing here is what we have is a BNC cable here, which we'll use for connecting the camera directly over, and for powering the camera directly off of the meter itself, we'll use this cable here. So if we look at the cable itself, there's the main thing here is the screen in the front, which we'll turn on in a few moments' time. We have an on-off switch here. What we have here as well is when we're doing the charging, we have the micro USB here. We'll charge directly off of that. We have a microphone input here through a 3.5mm port. What we have here is the power cable for taking power off here. We're running it directly over to the camera. And then what we have is the main vent here. We have the BNC connection here for taking the camera feed from the camera. We have a light here, which I should have showed on the side here. So we can actually just set up a light if we're using a confined space, something like that. You can set that, and there's actually a strobe function on it as well. There's a menu with an option left and right. We have a USB 5 volt USB output here, and then we have our UTP network scanner here. And if we look in the back here, this is where we have our batteries here, and you just need Joule or Phillips screwdrivers to access them there. So what we'll do now is just do a demonstration. So what I have here is a little camera. Good. And what I have next is I'm going to get the BNC cable that came here. I'm going to run it over. I'm going to connect it onto the BNC connection here. So now we have a video from the camera over to the meter. And how are we going to power it? Well, we're going to come along and we're going to take it off this power output here and connect it directly into the connection here. And what we have then is we're able to turn it on, and we'll turn this on. We'll just hold this up here. And I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can. Power up now in a minute. You can see my chair at the back, and see if I aim at the sign, we can see the sign on the wall, all the rest of it here. So we can just see exactly what's being picked up and where the camera is pointing. So really handy from that perspective here. So it's a pretty simple demonstration on it. The fact again it can handle the AHD, really convenient for us. So what we could do at that point is I could, if I wanted to charge this, just say we're after using it for a while, I wanted to charge it, I could just come along here and I could put the charger directly in there like that. And if it's going into power save, something like that, I can just use the switch here to knock it off. Now if we're doing the microphone part, just say we have a camera with a microphone on it, what we can do is we can just push this in here, and we can use the little crocodile clips here to just clip directly onto the outputs from, let's say, a speaker, something like that, a microphone. And it's just go directly in. Okay, so that's convenient there. And what we'll do now is just to quickly demonstrate, we'll say, the actual networking abilities on it. So what we'll do here is I'm just going to use a LAN cable here that I just have from our workshop. And what I'm going to do in the far end here is I'm going to test this. And you won't be able to see this here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the menu button, and it'll see here that it's seeing that all 8 connections, you can see the full loop around. So it's saying V1, V1, V1 all the way through. But if I came along and I took off this block, as if we'll say the cable had been broken somewhere, there was no connection going through. Now if we hit the menu button, it'll say X1 all the way to X8, saying that these connections aren't being made. So you can see anyway, it's very versatile in terms of what it can achieve. And it really is popular. Like, we sell a huge amount of them here. We run CCTV training courses here at freetv.ie. And this is the product that we sell most of afterwards, because when people see it and they think about all the hassle and problems they had of setting up a camera, running back to the DVR, over and back, or troubleshooting afterwards, to see that relatively low cost unit, free delivery, all the rest, and it just works really, really well. So I think it's just a great addition to our overall range of CCTV products. So that's anyway an overview of our AHD CCTV tester, available on freetv.ie.